Welcome you all to the webinar this morning, and thank you for joining us. Today we have Lael presenting a MetaGeek webinar. If you have any questions, please input them in the question box. Lael will answer them at the conclusion of the webinar. At this time, I'm going to let Lael take over, and I hope everybody enjoys.
Thanks very much, Crystal. Good morning, everybody. As Crystal said, I'm Lael Ubaraga from MetaGeek. I am the channel sales manager, so I manage our wholesale accounts and partner relationships. Today I will be giving a quick webinar presentation on IPA, which is our packet analysis solution in the MetaGeek product line. And I actually just noticed a typo in this title slide. I was using a template from a different presentation. It says Introduction to MetaGeek's Spectrum and Packet Analysis product. IPA is strictly a packet analysis product. We do have products for spectrum analysis that's called YSpy and the Channelizer software. IPA is just packet analysis, though. Both ways of troubleshooting your wireless network are equally important. This is just packet analysis that I'll be talking about today. So a quick overview for those of you that this is maybe your first MetaGeek webinar you're attending. We were founded in 2005. We're a privately held company in downtown Boise. We're a small company, and we like being a small business in a big tech industry. We love Boise. We have 51 resellers and distributors worldwide. So we have a distribution channel, and we also have a direct sales channel via metageek.net. Sell internationally. We've been exporting for about, I think, 7 or 8 years. Our primary markets, this is kind of a joke, anyone with Wi-Fi issues. So that can be your small office, home office, small to medium business, education sector, medical, cable installer, warehouse, home automation, anywhere where there's an intersection of Wi-Fi and non-Wi-Fi but wireless devices, since our products see anything that's transmitting wirelessly in the 2.4 or 5 gigahertz spectrum. Just some quick visuals for you there. On the left is Ryan Woodings. He's our founder. That was back in 2005 when he shipped his first YSpy. YSpy is our flagship product that we started with before we even dreamed up IPA. YSpy is a spectrum analysis tool that lets you see RF or wireless devices transmitting on the physical layer, so layer 1 in the RF spectrum. So you'll see the little green USB dongle, YSpy, and then Channelizer is the software right behind it. Today, 2014, we're still intentionally a small company in Boise, Idaho, like I said. We've diversified our portfolio a little bit. We now have you can see Channelizer up in the top right-hand corner. Channelizer has come a long way from the screenshot over on the left side. And we also have IPA, which I'll be talking about today. IPA tackles layer 2, the data link layer of wireless, and it's packet analysis, as I mentioned. We also have a really popular Wi-Fi scanner called Insider, INSSIDER, that is good for quick looks into your Wi-Fi network. So those 3 products round out our product line. So why is MetaGeek in business? Why are we here? We specialize in dual band Wi-Fi troubleshooting. So the 2.4, Wi-Fi lives on the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. This may be a refresher for some of you. I just like to kind of give some perspective of where our products fit into general Wi-Fi troubleshooting. There's advantages to both the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz deployments, and we recommend both in every deployment. But we especially are kind of on a mission to get everyone to start deploying 5 gigahertz. It's more common in the United States, but surprisingly around the world, there's just not a lot of 5 gigahertz being deployed. And we found some of it is lack of knowledge of 5 gigahertz, The gear is a little more expensive because it's a newer technology than 2.4, but there are so many benefits. You have 24 non-overlapping channels to choose from, whereas in 2.4 gigahertz you only have 3 non-overlapping channels. That makes the 2.4 gigahertz range very, very, very crowded and congested. So we like to tell people, whenever possible, please deploy on 5 gigahertz. Just a quick snapshot into the 2 dual bands of Wi-Fi. I'm having trouble transitioning between slides. Okay, there we go. Reminder of why Wi-Fi is so complicated and needs troubleshooting tools. Wi-Fi, unlike a wired connection, is half duplex. So I like to think of it like a highway. A wired connection, like an Ethernet cable, is a 2-lane highway. It can receive and send signals at the exact same time. Wi-Fi is half duplex, meaning it can only receive or send. It cannot do both. So there's a lot of protocols that have been developed to control the transmission of information over Wi-Fi, because otherwise the signals will just be colliding constantly and no one will be able to say anything. This is just a picture of an illustration of what half duplex is. The client on the laptop in this case sends data to the AP. The AP sends an acknowledgement back, and that's how the conversation continues. So one device sends data, send an acknowledgement, data, acknowledgement, both ways. Another illustration of half duplex and how it can become a problem, not necessarily a problem, but it can get quite tricky when you're dealing with more than one device trying to connect with a client, which is pretty much always. If you are in a magical world where you have your AP at home and you're only connecting with one device and there's no other devices around you, then you're going to have a nice, clear, fast conversation. But most people nowadays, you have your smartphone, you have a tablet, you have a laptop, you may have some devices, some smart devices at home, printers, digital cameras, computerized thermostats. They all need to compete for the same airtime. So it's kind of like if you go to Joel, our trainer, likes to use the analogy of bringing a pie to a party. If you bring a pie to a small dinner party of just 4 people, everyone gets, or let's say 8 people, everyone gets a decent serving of pie, and there's no problem, no one fights. But if you bring a pie to a party of 100 people, things start to get really tricky. And the pie analogy is basically what we use to describe airtime. Air is the medium that Wi-Fi is transmitted in, like wired connection. Cable is the medium. So air is the medium here, and there's only so much airtime to go around. And that's why Wi-Fi has all these protocols developed to be fair and equitable and set up the exact ways that data gets transmitted and who gets to talk and when. So I talked earlier about the 3 MetaGeek product lines. We have Insider, which is the Wi-Fi scanning tool. We have Wi-Spy and Channelizer, which is our spectrum analysis package. And we have IPA, which is our packet analysis package. So if you're looking at Wi-Fi, just to give you an idea of where IPA fits in, if you're looking at the types of Wi-Fi congestion, Insider, our Wi-Fi scanner, will show you networks. So it uses your Wi-Fi card to show you what networks are in the area, or access points, routers, however you want to call it. And you can see if networks are deployed next to each other, like adjacent channel. And you'll probably, as you learn more about Wi-Fi, you'll notice that if something is deployed on a non-standard channel in the 2.4 gigahertz, for example, like in this graphic, the leftmost red tabletop shape is deployed on channel 2, and the blue tabletop shape is deployed on channel 1, you're going to get a lot of adjacent channel interference. You can also see in Insider if two networks are deployed on the same channel, which is a co-channel, and that creates some interference, but it's nowhere near as bad as adjacent channel. So you definitely want your networks to line up on 1, 6, or 11, and hopefully your neighboring networks, neighboring APs, their owners maybe in an apartment building, hopefully everyone can be good neighbors and respect the 1, 6, 11 rule. In a dream world, you'd be in an area where there's no access points around you, and you have an open channel all to yourself, which is best. That's ideal. Insider will show you these things because it uses your Wi-Fi card to show you the networks in the area. The next step before IPA, you'd pull out Wi-Fi and channelizer. That's spectrum analysis. That will show you the third type of interference, which is non-Wi-Fi interference. Insider cannot show you this because Insider just uses your Wi-Fi network card. So if something is a non-Wi-Fi device and it's transmitting in the 2.4 or 5 gigahertz spectrum, your network card won't be able to see that because it only speaks Wi-Fi. So you kind of treat Wi-Fi as a language. The Wi-Fi spectrum analyzer can see any type of signal transmitting in the band in question. So whether it's a baby monitor or an Xbox controller or a security camera, anything transmitting, whether it's Wi-Fi or not, Channelizer will show you that. So you can see in the lower red pyramid shape, that's a source of non-Wi-Fi interference. Channelizer will show you that it's there, so you can move your network channel over to a channel where it's not being interfered with, which is just interference avoidance, basically. So you can see interference in Insider and Channelizer. Where IPA comes in, it's let me go back one slide, the middle section where it says co-channel better on channel 6, that's what IPA will tackle. So IPA looks at a channel and it will show you all of the networks and all of the clients associated with that channel and what type of packet traffic is happening on that channel. So you can see a bunch of associated data with each client device and each AP that's connected on the channel you're looking at in IPA. You can see the MAC addresses of all the wireless clients, utilization of airtime by 802.11 station. Station in this case is just an access point or a router, just another term for it. Retransmission percentage by client. It'll show you quickly if there's maybe a problem in your signal if you see really high retransmission rates. Because, like I was saying, Wi-Fi is very polite, so if a client is sending some data to an AP and it says, hey AP, here's the data, and then it doesn't receive an acknowledgement back from the AP, it'll say, oh, well, okay, they must not have gotten it, I'll send it again. If they don't receive acknowledgement, oh, they must not have gotten it, I'll send it again. And they just keep sending it until there's finally an acknowledgement from the AP saying your data was received. This retransmission go-around takes up a ton of airtime and gets in the way of other devices trying to talk to that AP as well. So that's a really important thing to be able to see, and IPA will show it to you, and I'll show you how in the next slide. You can also see data rates by client, which is really important when you're trying to find and hopefully shut down legacy data rates and see any legacy devices, because in some deployments, maybe in educational, there's some old machines that need to be used for whatever reason. So if you know that they are legacy devices, you can keep your B or G data rates open just for them. Ideally, you'd shut down all of your legacy data rates and only use N or AC, but we know that updating all of your devices connecting is pretty expensive, so sometimes you need to keep the legacy data rates open and available. And IPA will show you what kind of average data rate and minimum data rate each client is transmitting at. I talked about this already in a couple slides ago. Insider is network spot check, and it comes with Wi-Fi mini hardware, Insider Office software. We talked about wireless layer 1 spectrum analysis. That's the Wi-Fi hardware channelizer software. That lets you see non-Wi-Fi interference in the physical layer. And then IPA is wireless layer 2. That's packet analysis. So back into IPA. The 3 jobs that we call them jobs to be done that IPA will help you with is first, you can quickly see trends and any kind of potential issues in packet traffic because we have a pretty sophisticated color coding system. We call them treepies. You'll see the circles in the screenshot down below. They're just called treepies because they're multi-layer pie charts. I don't know why they call them treepies instead of tree pies. It's just some lingo around here. But they're interactive pie charts as well. So if you see something interesting, you can click on that section of the pie, and it will recalculate all the data that you clicked on, and then drill down and redraw the pie based on the data that you selected. It's really handy. So you can ignore all the stuff that doesn't concern you and drill down only into the stuff that's interesting. You can also use the, in the bottom, or excuse me, in the top of the screenshot where you see all those jagged yellow lines, that's an adjustable time graph. So that will let you narrow down by time as well. A packet capture, you may not find something interesting during the entire packet capture, so you just find a section that you want and adjust the sliders, and it will also redraw all of the graphs to only show you the data you're interested in. So as I talked about a couple slides ago, you can look and see if there are any legacy devices that we call them slow talkers that are using legacy or slower data rates. They could be causing problems, taking up, hogging the airtime because they have to talk really slow, and turn those rights off or turn those allowed data rates off. Lastly, IPA shows you recommendations in the Analyze tab, which we'll look at, that detects, that alerts you to some things that it may find suspicious, or it may just suggest to you that you need to change these things to make your network better, and we'll get to that. So taking you through the workflow of IPA, at the top of the screen in IPA, there's a Learn tab, which you can kind of just learn how to use the program, Capture, Visualize, Analyze, and Packets. So we'll go through each of those tabs. To obtain a packet capture to use in IPA, we have a few different supported capture methods. AirPCAP NX hardware is a USB dongle that works with Windows that allows you to obtain PCAP files. There's also utility in Mac OS X that allows you to get packet files, and you can also look at packets through access points when you turn them into monitor mode. And then there's just a list of supported file types there. So when you've got your file, you open it up in IPA, and you get to the Visualize tab. So that's the next tab over in the workflow. This tab allows you to quickly see from color coding what is going on with the types of traffic, the types of packet traffic that are happening. IPA was really built as a visualization software for looking at packet traffic. We're not trying to be the only packet analysis tool. We're just trying to be the one that can let you see trends the fastest. So it was built as a companion software to Wireshark, actually. While some of the MetaGeek geeks were at a Wireshark conference called SharkFest a few years ago, it's just a packet analysis conference, they were looking at Wireshark, and we all love Wireshark, but we realized that there were, instead of scrolling through data, which does work for some people, if you really want to get to see trends and problem spots quickly and then go look at them in Wireshark, there wasn't really any way to do that. So we built IPA to let you see problem spots quickly using color coding, which humans are very good at recognizing patterns when color is associated. Our brains just like color, and we work faster that way. So it makes it very intuitive. You can see the parts you want, and then you can actually export the data that you're interested in back to Wireshark for more in-depth analysis. IPA doesn't let you, its intention isn't to look at individual packets and what's in them. Its intention is to look at packet traffic and what's going on. So in the Visualize tab, as you see in the 3 trees, you can look at data, first of all, from the adjustable time graph that I was talking about. Go to a certain spot that you want, and it recalculates all the different pie charts. If you're interested in airtime, you can click on airtime, and it'll bring that to redraw it to make it the largest tree P. If you're more interested in bytes, you can click over just on the word bytes there, and it will redraw the circle. It'll bring that circle to the middle of the screen, make it the biggest so you can analyze that. Same with packets. If you're more interested in packets than the airtime, click packets. It'll bring it back to the largest circle in the screen. So you'll notice that I keep on talking about tree Ps. They're multi-layer pie charts. You'll see that there's not only different colors going around the circle, but there's different colors starting from the inside to the outside of the circle. The ring order, we call it in IPA, starting from the inside and working outward. The default order is the very inner circle, where in this airtime view you can see the red section, the purple section, the light blue, a tiny orange slice, and then a darker blue. Those are the radio groups or BSSID groups. So that's basically your networks that you're seeing. And if you have multiple APs deployed on one network, then that will be the individual APs are the next level out, which is the first green ring. So that's the SSID layer. The next layer out, which is the second green ring, is clients. So you'll see any client devices that are connected to this network on this channel. And then the outermost ring is subframe types. So that allows you to see what kind of packets are actually being sent. Were they management packets, were they control packets, or were they data packets? We'll talk about the types of packets in a later slide. So the Visualize tool really allows you to quickly see trends and potential problems. Once you learn the colors, if you're starting to see too many of one color, that'll alert you to that maybe there's something going on. Maybe there's high retransmission rates, and something's messing with your signal. And then you can drill down quickly without scrolling through a bunch of stuff. You just find the color that you want to look at and click, and then it does all of the rest of the filtering for you. As you hover on any section of these pie charts, the associated data table, which is the lower right table in the screen, will just give you some stats about whatever you're clicking on. Because the pie chart itself doesn't have numbers on it, but if you hover over on any section of the pie, you'll see data pop up, and then also the associated data will give you information about each AP. So filters. I was talking about how the filtering in IPA is really its most powerful feature, or one of its most powerful features. If you know what you're interested in, you can use inclusive or exclusive filters, meaning include everything that has the word Bronco in it, or exclude everything that has the word Bronco in it. You can filter by client, vendor, MAC address, change the channel that you're looking at. You can also filter by data rate, which is really helpful in trying to find legacy devices that are transmitting at lower data rates. And you can filter by subframe type, which in this screenshot I actually broke up. It's a drop-down menu, but it's really long, so to fit it on this screen, I broke it up into 2 sections. I was talking about colors earlier. Management, control, and data. Those are the outermost ring. You'll see on the outermost ring of this Visualize tab, you'll see orange, purple, and blue. And these are what each of those colors mean. Purple is management frames. Different shades of purple are different types of management frames. Same with orange and blue. So if you're seeing a lot of purple, for example, in this BSSID we're looking at, unauthorized origami, that's all management frames. So there wasn't any data sent in this slice. That alerts us to the fact that there's probably something going wrong. You also look at the hover over. When you hover over on unauthorized origami in this screenshot, you can get some quick stats about it that will help you clue you in even further to what's going on. There's a retry rate there of 71%. That's extremely high if the AP is not getting through to the client or vice versa, and it's taking up a bunch of airtime. Lastly, it's only transmitting, its minimum data rate is 1 megabyte per second, which is really, really slow, so whatever it's trying to say, it's saying it in a very slow way. So that, actually, I'm going to go back. Finding slow talkers or top talkers, which are hoggers of airtime, is really easy in IPA just because of the color coding. So moving along on the workflow, the Analyze tab, IPA will quickly alert you to, if you just want to click through, you don't have a lot of time to spend, just want to spot check and see what's going on, IPA will let you know if there's thresholds set for, is there too high of retransmits, are there legacy data rates we're seeing, are there legacy devices that we're seeing, and is there WEP or WPS detection that will alert you that your security is lacking. You'll see the little screenshot on the right. Channel 1 observations, we've detected WPS and legacy data rates. The last one I'm going to do quickly, packets. This is if you want to get a look not in a pie chart format, but in a table. Sometimes a good old-fashioned table is just what you want. You can sort by time, subframe type, data rate, RSSI, all of these in the top columns you see. And the BSSID to client gives you an idea of who was talking to whom, whether it was BSSID to client or vice versa. Of course, these will all be recalculated based on the adjustable time graph, the jagged yellow lines up at the top. It's a nice, good way to just look at the data that made up those pie charts. Then when you're done analyzing, you can export your filtered data to Wireshark for more in-depth analysis, or you can copy to clipboard any of the pie charts or tables in IPA and create a report for further documentation or to keep or to show to clients or bosses, etc. So I don't have a ton of time for questions, but if there are any questions, I would love to answer them about IPA. And that's all I had for the slides.
All right, Lael, thank you. That was fantastic. Let me look at the questions. Okay, well, good thing you don't have a lot of time. We only have one. All right, fire away. How often is the software updated, and is there a charge for it?
That's an excellent question. So the software, we have minor updates a few times a year. I'm not sure what version we're on right now, but just minor ones probably every 3 months or so. And updates are included in, so when you purchase an IPA license, it comes with 1 free year of MetaCare, which is our maintenance agreement. It's spelled M-E-T-A-C-A-R-E. So 1 year of Medicare is included in every channelizer and IPA license. And if you have a current Medicare contract, then all updates are free and support's free. And then if when your Medicare expires, you can renew. And the renewal licenses are in blocks of 1 year, 2 year, and 3 years, I believe. And you can purchase them at any time. If your Medicare does lapse, and maybe you've gone like a year without being on any kind of Medicare and you want to renew, it will renew you retroactively. So from the time that it lapsed, it'll count back and it'll give you all the updates that have happened since then when you renew your contract. And Microcom does carry the free year that comes with the license, and then also we call them Medicare extensions. So you can purchase extensions as well.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, Lael. Thank you, everybody, for attending this morning. I hope everybody found it very informative. If you have any additional questions, feel free to contact us at sales@microcomtech.com. That's MICROCOMTEC. If you wish to view any of the products mentioned here, you can visit us at www.microcom.us or contact your salesperson. And lastly, this webinar will be posted on Microcom Technologies' YouTube channel for later review. Thank you, Lael, and I hope everybody has a great day.
Thank you very much.